So jump right into it, Ron, with the whole sanding and filling again, because we sanded and filled for like fucking a week. And here we are again, sanding and filling on the last day before it needs to go on a truck.
Yeah. Welcome back to the sanding and filling episode. After we put a couple coats of primer and wet sanding, you know, primer coat always shows all your flaws and mistakes, so we had to go back in with more primer.
More sanding and filling.
More sanding and filling, more Bondo, more sanding and filling, and then, I don't know, another half a day, full day of doing that. And,
I don't think it was that long because, I mean, this was by far the longest day we've had. There was no paint. There was just primer on Winston when we started that day. Yeah. You painted the crap out of him.
Yeah, so then we just started laying down our baits coats. Get a lot of questions about the type of airbrush I use. It's the Haywyre HPCS. It's a dual action airbrush. Like the workhorse on my workbench. Spray from like an eyelash all the way up to a wide pattern. And then so we started just spraying this guy. Started with the base, started working on the base, detailing that out, taping that off, getting all the kind of like weathered look of the airlock. Started working on his armor suit. Finishing the airbrushing, I did all the kind of the initial steps of the airbrushing because there was still a lot of stuff that we had to do after the hardware was installed. So we finished primarily 90% of all the base coats and detailing and stuff, and then I brought it out to you to start bending the tubing for cooling.
Yeah, I think that was that about midnight or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the tubing going on the system. You know, first I had to put the hardware in there. You know, I put the pump in, which was a pain in the ass because it was right at the bottom of his body, but it made the most sense. So, because that would be close to the reservoir, but out of sight, so I was behind him. I had to get the gun, which is like I don't know, it takes two people to practically do that because the way the reservoir assembles. So we had to put the gun in, or the reservoir into the gun, and then put the gun onto Winston, and then put the jetpack in. I mean the test bench. Thank you. My brain's fried. So we got that in, and we got all the hardware in there and everything, and started laying out the tubing and trying to figure out where everything was going to go. So I started bending tubes, and then of course I saved the best one for the last. You know, it was like freaking 7 bends in that freaking thing. I thought it was going to take all night.
Yeah, I was watching you do it, and I was like, just hope he doesn't mess up on that last tube, and he throws it across the shop. I was waiting for that to happen, and crossing both fingers it wouldn't.
Oh, and you know what? I think at some point when I was installing the radiators, I discovered that I forgot to drill the holes out. Because I usually drill 1/8 holes just so that way I know where the location is, right? And I'm trying to put these screws in, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to drill all the holes out. Yep. So, you know, so I had to do that, of course, before the radiators went in. But then once we got that done, we sent it back down to the shop so you could do the final detail on Winston. So we bagged all the hardware, just left it on him because it's just too much of a pain in the butt.
Right.
Shit, my part's done, fool. I'm going to lay down on the couch.
Yeah. Well, we had Dwight cut out those airbrush stencils for us for the airlock and comm tower and, you know, just all the little things that you see around. Everything that you see that was font lettering and stuff, Dwight cut out for us.
Even the Demus Tech sticker.
Yep. He cut all that stuff out for us so we could have more time on the build instead of sitting in front of a computer doing, you know, the graphics. So that saved us hours of time too. So big thanks to Dwight for that. Yeah, and then we just did all the airbrushing for that, and you know, you were asleep on the couch and came in to wake you up to fill the loop.
I set my alarm, and here I got these two guys, him and David, because at this time I think Dwight had left.
Yeah.
I got Ron and David. They keep freaking tapping me on the shoulder. Hey, dude, get up. Hey, dude, get up. You got to get up. I just turned over and looked at him, and I'm just like, nah. I just rolled back over.
And at this time, this was about a 32-hour day,
yeah.
Right?
Because I got 2 hours of sleep. It was a solid 2 hours, except for the 15 minutes of you guys bugging me. But yeah, you didn't go to sleep until, I think you crashed out at one point while I was doing the water cooling or something. Here on the couch, just sitting here. Or when we were waiting for the truck, I can't remember.
Right.
But yeah, so we were done, literally done by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
The loop was filled. It looked killer. That was it. So Winston was pretty much off and running, I think. We'd like to thank Intel for commissioning us to do this build. We hope that they really love the build and get plenty of use out of it and find a nice big desk to put it on. And be sure to go over and check out Blue Horse Studios YouTube channel, Ron Lee Christensen. He's my buddy. I'm hoping that we'll be doing some more co-op builds together and do some video series like this one. Once again, I think that concludes the Winston Build Log. Until next time.